kind of tutorial walkthrough on how to create your own motion activated prop trigger. I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there. This is not brand new from the box beginning. This is one I'm actually taking apart and modifying. So when you open your box, this is the assembly that you get, except for this is attached out here. So the first thing that I've done is take this off by removing these pieces here that created the bar that locks in right here to give you your adjustable, wiggle on that. So first thing I'm going to do, because I want this to be mounted potentially away from this, I want to have the flexibility. So first things, we're going to take this off and lengthen these wires. Okay, so if you guys want to extend so that you have longer capabilities, then this is what you would do next. Take your scrap pieces of wire to get your extended length, strip out the ends, and just simply match them together. Ensure a good twist. You want to make sure that it's real good so you have good continuity. Trim off the ends so that your excess will fit into your wire nuts. And we're just going to cap these together, doing all three. You could get a pair of lineman's pliers and twist them if you wanted to really ensure a good connection. Again, just trim off the excess on the end. Put a wire nut on really tight. Always want to twist your wire nuts just as tight as you can to protect your connection. So here's our third one. So there, now we have our extension from our original sensor unit, and we're going to hook that back up to the processor. So, hold that thought for just a moment while I get that ready. Okay, since we have three different leads coming off, the neutral, I marked blue, and all I had was blue and red wires, so both of my hots are going to be red. So what I did was trace to the end of my black wire and just marked it with a piece of electrical tape, so then when I come back on this end to hook it up, I'll know which one it is. But it just so happens that your black wire is going to be your actual power wire that you're going to hook to your cord, which we'll get to in a minute. So, I'm just going to take our other two wires, bring them back to the sending unit, and we're just going to hook these guys up. Now the blue one I hooked to my white wire, so I'm going to find my white wire in here and make that connection. And the red one is from the red wire, so we'll find that, which is right here, and we'll make that connection as well. And the reason I'm not putting the wire nuts on them quite yet is because these are the two wires. Well, actually, I'll take that back. This one, we'll go ahead and cover that connection with a wire nut. That way we're left with our neutral, and then this is our power. So these are what we're actually going to hook up to the extension cord to where you supply your constant power. Cap these off. Make sure it's a good secure connection. Trim off the excess so that we can ensure that. And you're also going to want to make sure you pick up a light fixture box take the end of an extension cord, the plug-in, cut it off, and insert it through the knockout. Fill the remainder with caulk so you get a good weather-resistant seal. And this is what it should look like on the other side, just your 2 wires there. So we're going to wait and let that dry sufficiently before we proceed with hooking everything up to that. And that leaves us pretty much done at the moment for this, because the rest of the connections we have to make outside of the box, and we're going to wait for that to dry. So we'll check back in with that in a moment. Okay, so after you take your wire and extend the reach you got on your motion detector, just hook up the wires back the way they were, and then the rest you'll just hook up as directed. What I do is take an extension cord, cut the female end of it off, which would be this end. I'll cut this end off of the cord, run it into my box, and after you cut the ends of it off, the way you can tell what wire is what is the exterior side of the hot wire will be smooth. Let's see. See how that's smooth? That's the hot. Your neutral will be ridged. So hook your neutral up to your neutral, hook your hot up to your hot, and that's all you got to do for the wiring. Give me just a second, we'll throw this thing together and take a look at the finished product. So now that you've assembled your unit onto your mounting base, it should look something like this. There are fittings that you can buy so that you don't have this big hole, or you can fill it up with caulk, or whatever you want to do. Mine won't be out except for day of, so I'm not going to really worry about it. But so here's the finished product, and here's the extension that we made out to our unit. And then these little things right here you can purchase at Home Depot or Lowe's. They're really cheap. On the back side of them is just a light socket base. I recommend doing that with it plugged on. So you just have a socket base out to a plug. So that's really all you got to do. And that way, whenever you're ready to set this up with your props, you just plug in your extension cord here so that you got your power out. And whenever something breaks the beam of your photo sensor, that'll power on that light switch, light socket, which now has a receptacle plug in it, which goes to your extension cord that goes to your whatever you want. For the settings, you can do whatever you want. Again, I recommend going with test, because it's only about 30 to a minute second-wise, depending on your unit. And I always crank my sensitivity all the way up. So the other options are 4 minutes and 12. And unless you want your prop running for 4 or 12 minutes, I would go with test. So there's probably a million other how-tos out there, but I have a couple subscribers that I've been talking with about this, so I just want to give you guys a how-to on how I do it. I know I wasn't as in-depth as I could be because, it was already put together. I just took it apart and extended the cord on that. So if you have any questions, feel free to send me a message or leave it in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer. And thank you guys for watching.